All right, welcome to part one of building face down. To start, we're going to be making a new project. And we're going to start with the drummer because that's what's first in the introduction. And we need something before we can really deal with our timeline here. So I just added, the default drummer. And then I can start to kind of edit some of this stuff. I'm going to start with the settings. Over here on Chordify, it tells you some information. It might just be the paid version. So here, kind of in the top middle, I wish I could highlight, but it says 188 beats per minute. And then it says in the key of B flat. The key is actually G minor, but those actually have the same key signature. That's some music theory mumbo jumbo. If you're interested, let me know. I'd love to show you because I'm a nerd. But you don't really need to know it. So I'm going to change the key to G minor, which will help so much in the future, and for having the right chords to start. Just makes things easier, but you could technically be in the wrong key and get the right chords, but then in the future you couldn't really add certain things. So we're just going to put it in the right key. We can go back to settings. We're going to put the tempo at 188, which a lot of times Chordify is not 100% right, but it's at least close enough. Since we're not using the actual sound file of the song, 188 is, in our case, perfect. Next is in the top right here, hit that plus so we can change our intro. We decided it was 12 bars long, but it has that little pickup, so we're going to need that little extra bar there. So we're going to say it's 13 bars long. And I added Kyle. I could, switch drummers to find the right sound. You can switch up the presets, which just changes which drums are active or which patterns they're using here. But honestly, the default Kyle, man, he's got it. Listen to this. So we got. And then here's the default Kyle. Pretty dang close. The bass is doing a little too much, so I'm going to try to simplify it a little bit. And then I'm going to, let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then we just need the pickup in the first bar, so I got to shorten this. And then I'm going to move this to try to find the right spot. It's on the end of 3, which might not mean anything to you yet, but I've kind of explained the timeline up top a little bit before. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then beat 1 of the next bar. So here's beat 4 of the previous bar. Here's beat 3. I want it right in the middle of 3 and 4 is the and of 3. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. So I'm just going to move this to here. And you can just copy that. You don't need to know exactly how that mathed out. You can just copy paste. Didn't like that fill. I'm gonna adjust it and see if that sounds better. Yes. And just listening and checking. That one was a little extra. Maybe that'll be better. It auto loops. That was good. Still a lot extra. I wish there was a fill here. I don't know exactly my setting. I'm gonna cheat and look back on the version that I was working on before. Apparently fill way up there, and then down there, that got me what I wanted. So move this down a little bit. I don't know if that's gonna be the thing, but wow, that just doesn't look the same. Anyway, I could keep playing with this. That's gonna be good enough for this tutorial. Hey, that got me this fill that I wanted there going into bar 6. That was more simple, and it gives me a fill at the end. Thank you. Perfect. All right, next. I'm gonna go to my timeline. Okay, one thing that I forgot to mention, so like on our map, we figured out intro was that many bars long, verse was 16, chorus was this many, and so on and so forth. I could go through and just add all those sections, add, and then get them to the right bars, and I would feel like I did something. I'm gonna say don't do that. You'll end up having to do a lot more manual work of copy paste and like figuring things out later. It's just easier to build. I'm gonna say start with the first two sections. So we got the 8 bars and 16 bar for the first verse. And we'll come back to that later. Let's finish out the intro. Next we're going to work on the guitar. This, if you haven't done riff, amp, and effects assignment yet, do that first. It goes a little bit more in depth on how to get the sound that we're going to be getting. I'm going to go with smart guitar. I'm going to change to classic clean. It's going to sound better when we put that into the amp. And so I could just hit these chords. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you look at the Ultimate Guitar to see exactly which strings are playing, which ones aren't, and whatnot, you would see that you're only really supposed to be playing these bottom 5 strings, which is hard to hit with, 5 fingers. Can do it, not very reliably. But anyway, if I count on the map, on this version of the map, if I look at the starting bar here and call that bar 1, then this is bar 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is where that G minor first starts. So I'm going to find bar 6 because we made this intro 13 bars long. Bar 6 is where my first G minor chord is. I'm only going to use 4 fingers because, yeah. Anyway. And then next chord is E flat, next is B flat, and then F. And I'm just going to use my 4 fingers so I don't really hit this top string. Doesn't fit very well. At least I can double check. Let me see if I hear that sound. No. So, yeah. It's like it fits in the chord fine. And it would sound okay, but I'm going to just go with those ones. And then over here, over here, over here. Every 8 beats or every 2 bars. I made a lot of weird little mistakes, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix that after the fact. Edit. So yeah, coming back to this screen so I can look at all my notes. Edit. Ideally, when you strum, you hear the lowest string first, and then the next string next, and so on and so forth. These kind of like repeated themselves. That was weird. This one also like came in late. I don't know. Which I want it to come in later, but not like that much later. And then I'm gonna make those last all 2 bars and see how that now sounds. Yeah, sounds like a strum. This one's technically missing a note. So ideally, your G chord is gonna have G, D, G, B flat, D, and you can see the notes over here. My B flat chord. Wait, no, that's the second chord. G, E flat chord. I should probably have B flat fits in it. I should probably have the E flat here, so I could turn on this editing up in the top left and add an E flat. Turn that back off. And then I want this note to happen right on the downbeat, so I can slide it to the beginning of 8 so that I see it happen right there and not somewhere over here. The next note, if I zoom in all the way, I can turn off snap to grid. See in the top middle it says snap grid off. Otherwise it would probably snap me right here and I would like jump to there. I don't want it that far off. I'm just scooching it a little bit. So these are just a slight offset. So it's like I'm strumming a guitar rather than just hitting all the notes at once like a computer. It's barely noticeable. I'm not too worried about if you do that or not. Anyway, I'm gonna shorten this, and then I'm gonna start this note at the beginning, slightly offset. Good enough. Da-dum. It won't let me scooch it to the right if it's at the end of the song, like the end of that line. So I had to shorten this one so that I could do that. This one had that weird extra note, so I'm gonna delete that and lengthen this again. Go ahead and offset it first. All right, and now I'm left with what sounds very much like the intro to the song. And then we can do this in chunks as we go, but I'm going to show you like from riff, amp, and effects. I'm not going to go into so much detail because you've hopefully done that assignment. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put this in an amp. To get it, instead of a classic clean, we get the actual sound that we want. So merge this with itself. Put it into the amp. Pick the amp that I want. You know, different ones make different sounds. That's probably it. Yep. I'm gonna try some different pedals and sounds to see. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. I go no pedal. All right. So there is now a more realistic sound too. And then if you listen really carefully, it's hard to hear on the iPads, but with headphones you can hear the bass, or with these speakers. Or on my Ultimate guitar, I can hear and solo out just the bass part. And we got... It's just playing the root of the chord on a bass guitar. So I'm going to add in a bass guitar. And I'm going to go smart bass and try out some different auto plays. This was it. It's just ba da 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 da. 2 bars of each chord, just like in the song, starting in bar 6. Record G minor. Cool. And then I'm going to go in and look at that and see some of my imperfections. May or may not have been on purpose. Definitely just trying to teach you. Okay. So it should be every 2 bars. So here at bar 6. Perfect. Look, it starts. Ooh, and let's solo this so that we can hear what's going on. Edit. This note should have been on that new chord, so I can just scooch it on over. Wow, how is it all not on the beat? What's going on there? Crazy. Did it do that on my other version? I'm just so curious. And I'm sorry you have to watch this. Oops. No, that's right. No, that's wrong. This one. Timeline. I'll look at my bass again. Edit. Yeah, it's a little bit offset. I guess to make it sound a little bit more human, and then the bass is a little bit on the front side of the beat. It's kind of cool. Okay. This is where we label things. This is the one that I'm working in. I'm gonna go ahead and do this now. You should do this now too. This is face down. I'm gonna label this one for me too because it's my teaching version, the one that I I'm building live for video. Edit. So what I was noticing is like it should be right on 8, but like you can see it sticking out on the left side. It starts a smidgen early. It's very interesting. Both of these notes should be down there. They're all on that one. And the others are all good. Hold on. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah, there's an extra note. This is so weird. I'm gonna snap these to the grid. I'm gonna make the bass perfect. Anyway, I did just highlight all the notes. That's the next step really is like, if you listen to this bass, it's going like da 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 da, and there's like space, and when the real bass is going da 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 da, there's no space. So we need them long notes instead of these short notes. I'll lengthen them out. There we go. And then with everything, that sounds like. Like you can't hear it, so I'm gonna turn it up. This is a little bit much. We now have the intro. All right. Good luck, and then once you finish with this, you'll go on to video number 2.